Yeah, that means beating out monsters in the interior like Shaq, like Jokic, like Kareem. And how lucky are we? Zion Williamson joins us now in studio. His first one-on-one interview in several years. Zion, welcome to NBA Today.
Thank you for having me.
We really appreciate it. Before last night, Zion, you had played in a consecutive streak of 35 straight games. That's the longest in your career. And I got to tell you, it was really a joy to watch. How much fun are you having right now?
I'm having a lot of fun right now. Just being able to get up and know that I can just go play free in NBA games and not have to worry about injuries and stuff like that, because me and my trainer have just been putting in a lot of work.
Yeah, and we're seeing that work right now. I know we mentioned the ankle injury, but this is something that's short term, right? How quickly do you expect to be back on the floor?
I expect to be back tomorrow against the Lakers.
All right, tomorrow against the Lakers. And I think, you know, before the season got underway, you said that this is the healthiest that you have been since high school, since maybe even Duke, and I see you smiling. Now we have a third of the season to go. Do you still feel that way?
I do still feel that way. And when I said that, it was not just from a point of athleticism, but just from being able to go out there and know I can play 30-plus minutes a night and not have to worry about an injury coming down the road or something. It's just, I'm very mobile, and I feel free.
You keep saying that word free, and we're seeing, and the smile that you're giving us right now, I see that, I feel that, and I think back to the best basketball I think I've watched you play. I think it was probably 2024, right? You played 70 games, and then we get to the play-in game, and you were flying. I mean, you had 40 points in that game before you went out with a hamstring injury. Where do you think you played your best basketball?
Man, that's a good question. I feel like I've had different stints. First, second year, I feel like I had good runs. My fourth year, when I made the All-Star game. But that year where I played 70 games, that was most games I played in the season. But I think my development and growth throughout the year, I got better as the season went on.
Yeah.
And it was dope for a chance to be able to just be out there with my guys for 70 games, and just experience road trips and not have to be rehabbing the whole time or something. So it was definitely a great experience, but I would go my fourth year. I would say my fourth year and my fifth year.
Fourth and fifth year. How close do you feel to that best basketball standard now?
When I say the best, we were winning. I feel like when you're winning, it just benefits not just yourself, but it benefits the whole team. Yeah. So when you're not winning, it just, even if you're putting up decent numbers, it just doesn't feel like your best because you're not winning games.
Right, you're still trying to put it all together. You mentioned you're working with a new trainer. What have you changed maybe in your diet, in your routine, in your training that has allowed you to put together this streak of 35 games?
I mean, just the consistency of staying on top of all the small things. You know, we always do treatment every day. The things we work on. Really, it's a big reason why, like, when I say the word free, like, I'm mobile, like my muscles aren't tight, I feel loose. And when I'm on the court, there are times where I'll get subbed out and I'll look at my coach like, do I have to come out the game right now? And I think that's the point where I'm like having fun with it, because I don't want to come out the game. There are times where I'm like, I really don't want to come out the game because I don't feel tired, and it just feels good to be on the court.
Can you contrast that, Zion, to before? You're saying, I don't feel tired, I'm not raising my hand to come out of the game. Were there times where maybe you had to?
I think there were times when I would be tired because I wasn't doing the necessary work on my body, so my muscles weren't fully recovered. Like, the recovery process is really what's been key for me. Like, the amount of time I put into recovery allows me to feel fresh from day to day versus I may have 2-3 days where it's like, my body's sore, I'm tired, and it'll affect me in the long term versus now where day to day, I feel great.
You feel great. You feel like you're ready to go. James Borrego said, quote, "There's an element of care factor," he said, "that I've seen at a much higher level for him this year than I've ever seen before." Do you see that as being true? And did you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, I need to make some changes?
I do see that. That's a part of the recovery process thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did look in the mirror. It was, am I doing what I need to do to stay on the court? Even if I felt like I was doing enough, there was more I could be doing. And with my trainer, Chris, he's always put me on game to different things, different recovery methods, and it's been yielding positive results.
Yeah, it certainly has. Zion, you're only 25, right? You're 25 years old. You've given fans some of the get out of your chair, high-flying, incredible highlights over the years. It's been awesome to watch. And then you get one of those highs, and it's met with, afterwards, you missing significant time with injury. And with that has come a lot of criticism. It's even come within these walls on this network. What's been the hardest criticism of your game, of your availability, of your weight, of your fitness for you to hear?
I mean, there are pros and cons to being in a certain position. Critics come with the territory. The part that would get at me the most is the people saying that I didn't care. And I care a lot. I really care. And when you're not on the court and you have to just sit on the sideline, how much my critics hate it, I hate it more than them, because I don't want to be on the sideline. I want to be out there on the court. So that was a part of the process of looking in the mirror. Am I doing enough? Am I really doing what I need to do? So going through all those injuries, missing lots of time because of it, it did a lot on my mental. But it also helped me grow as a pro. So I would say it's a blessing in disguise when you're looking at stuff like that, just trying to stay positive.
I appreciate your perspective on that. Do you think that you got a fair shot?
I try not to view it like that.
Okay.
I'm more of a, master of your own fate kind of person. So I'm gonna control what I can control, and if I can make it happen, I'm gonna make it happen.
Invictus, I am the captain of my fate. I am the master of my soul. How steadfast is your belief now that you are still that franchise cornerstone piece?
I have the ultimate belief in myself.
Yeah.
Now, it's just going out there and making it happen. Like, if you don't make it happen, words only mean so much. So I have the confidence in myself. Like, I really believe in myself. So I just got to go out there and make it happen.
I feel that belief from you. And when you first were drafted, you had the famous line in the white suit to the city of New Orleans when you said, okay, what'd you say?
Said, let's dance.
Let's dance. And 7 years later, that tango is still continuing. Not just a franchise cornerstone, period, but what does it mean to you, and what do you want to reavow to New Orleans to be their franchise cornerstone?
New Orleans is home for me. I know people hear rumors, hear different things, but New Orleans is home for me. Like in the off season, I stay in New Orleans and just move around the city, just getting to learn more about the culture. I made a lot of friends there, and New Orleans, I know I'm saying a lot, but New Orleans is really home for me. So I want to do what I can to help New Orleans win.
Yeah.
So, because if you can win a championship in New Orleans, I mean, if you look at the impact Drew Brees had with winning the Super Bowl, you're forever. And who doesn't want to be forever?
Absolutely. And so for you, New Orleans that is where you are, that is where you're focused. But as you said, this season has been taxing for you all. You are finally starting to get healthy. You're starting to string together what you think this lineup of the future can look like. Where do you see this group? Because there's not a lot of outside options to improve. You guys are going to be improving from within. Where do you guys see the next steps?
Right now, we're, just building habits, building our own identity. Because, like you said, we've dealt with injuries, coaches changes. We just dealt with a lot. And even despite all that, our energy is still high. We still have a positive locker room. And it's not, man, like, what's next is, no, guys, like, how can we build from this?
And it certainly, that seems like those are the next steps for you all to take. You haven't played, Zion, in a playoff game in your career. You've watched your guys do it. How much desire, hunger do you have to get that experience of playing in those meaningful games?
I mean, I have a big desire for it. You know, I did have the opportunity to watch my teammates play against the Suns in a playoff series a few years ago, and even though I wasn't playing, the environment that the playoff series brought, like, especially in our home arena in New Orleans, the energy was electric. Like, it was loud.
Nothing like it.
Like, just the thrill of even being in the arena, and it is something that I'm very much working towards.
And it's not just the Pelicans, right, who are evaluating their talent, their franchise cornerstones of who could be the next guy. The Olympic team, Team USA, is doing that as well, and we're only a couple of years away from the 2028 Olympics. Is that a goal you have, is to play for Team USA, to represent your country?
It's definitely a goal for me, and it'd be a huge honor to represent my country in the Olympics. But that goes back to, I just got to make it happen.
Yeah.
Like, I can sit here and talk, but, you know, I got to go out there and earn my spot and show them why I feel like I deserve a spot.
It seems like the motto of that I'm getting from you right now is the joy that you're playing with, and all right, enough talking, now I just have to make it happen. The reason I think that you did this interview is because you wanted to tell your side of these last couple of years. So can you tell me, Zion, the most difficult point with all the injuries and the highest point that you've experienced?
I would say the most difficult point was when I missed my third year with a broken foot. And, you know, there's a lot of criticism on my weight, my care for the game, etc. But the whole time I'm looking at a doctor, and the doctor's telling me, yeah, we're going to perform this surgery, but if this surgery doesn't work, we really don't know the next step.
Yeah.
So while people are saying what they're saying, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion, it is what it is. I'm in Portland rehabbing, not knowing if my foot's going to heal. I'm sorry. And it was frustrating. It was very frustrating, but I was low. I was really low because I just wanted to play basketball. I just wanted to play the game I love, but every time you turn the TV on, every time I checked my phone, it was nothing but negative criticism, man. At the time, it did a lot. Like I said, it did a lot, but it was a, you know, blessing in disguise, and, you know, I learned from it and I grew from it.
And that's why you have the Mount Zion tattooed across your back, right? Because it's not just where you're aiming to go. It's kind of the mountain Zion, especially with that on-the-court criticism that you've carried over the last couple of years. What does a successful next season look like? You get 5-year plans, all of that stuff. And frankly, I was going to ask you about 5 years, but I look at the last 5 years and it's been very up and down. So why don't we start with one? What does that look like for you?
For starters, having a winning record. I feel like that's a great starting point, having a winning record. And then from there, making the playoffs.
And they're making the playoffs. And then I will ask, the next 5 years, what does that look like for you?
I have some pretty massive goals that I'm trying to achieve, but all I can do right now is take it day by day. But I know they're going to happen.
You're like me. When you speak them into existence, you do believe that if you say them out loud, you're afraid you're going to jinx them?
Not even that.
Okay.
Not even that. I speak them out loud to the people around me, and I'm very confident in it. But I also have learned it day by day.
Yeah.
Like, I got to focus on the moment. If I can take advantage of that moment, then the next moment, then the next moment. And once I get to a certain point, not just myself, but my team, I'm excited on where we can be at.
Blink once if it starts with C and ends with championship. Just I'm messing with you.
Nah, that is the ultimate goal. Like, that is the ultimate goal, to win a championship. That's a part of being forever.
Yeah, that's a part of being forever, becoming synonymous with New Orleans. And Zion, since we've been talking, and I appreciate your candor and your vulnerability, since we've been talking about just how good you are and can be, We thought we maybe would take a little hike over to the big board here in our studio and check out some top highlights here that our producers cooked up. You have some incredible highlights this season, in previous seasons. I'm going to have you stand there, and why don't we just run back? These are just, I wouldn't even say these are the top three because there's too many to choose from. These are three excellent dunks from one Mr. Zion Williamson. Director Tarsi, if we could run the tape, please. Starting here, this is this season. What did Nick Claxton ever do to you?
You know, he's from South Carolina, crib talk. I mean, he's a great defender, but he put himself in a bad situation right there.
You know what? And you took full advantage, and you know it's good when your bench reacts like this. Pulling in at number 2, we had to dig out of the archives of this one. Oh, my goodness. What'd you think of this one?
I remember that one because I remember my teammate, Sindarius Thornwell at the time.
Yeah.
He was like, man, I ain't seen you dunk on nobody in a while, man. Can you even still do it?
And you're like, yeah, let me remind everybody. And then this is this year as well, on Victor Wembanyama. Is he 7'5", really? Or is he 7'5"?
Nah, he's tall.
Yeah.
He's tall. He's tall.
Any highlight on Victor Wembanyama is a heck of a highlight.
Nah, for sure. But I think what made this moment what it was the first play of the game, and you know, that's how we started off our home opener.
Well, you know, with dunks like that, and we had to, it's March. We had to roll back.
It's only right. It's only right.
As we're getting the madness underway. The 3-6, I mean, you still have that in your arsenal.
Of course, of course.
Not to sound like your teammate asking whether or not you can. Absolutely. Oh, my goodness, Zion. See, this is what makes fans so excited, and I think this is why everyone is so much looking forward to the fact that you put together those 35 straight games, and it's only up from here. And who knows, with dunks like that and $1 million on the line of dunk contest, yeah, maybe we'll see that in the future. Zion, thank you. I appreciate the time. I really, really do, and best of luck moving forward. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for having me.
What awesome candor there from Zion. Hey, coming up here on NBA Today.